What's up everybody, welcome back to 9 Yards. I think by now it's more than safe to say that the beef is over.
Hey Dion? Dion from Trinidad?
Hey Nine, what's good?
How did you get in my apartment?
Well, it's been a while since we covered Atlanta's Trinity to the Bone episode and our live stream reviews with Unfiltered Bachelors and Drunk Panthers. I thought that maybe your subscribers might be missing me.
That literally does not answer my question at all. How did you get into...
So why not talk about something that's taken over my life for the past few weeks, right?
Okay, alright, so what would that be?
The Drake and Kendrick beef.
Drake and Kendrick beef. Alright, listen man, don't you think it's a little bit too late for us to get in on this right now? FD Signifier actually just dropped like a 4-hour video talking about the same thing. I think we're a little cooked.
True, I actually watched tons of those, but that's not why I'm here. This is gonna be a broader discussion about art and artists, which I hope will clearly illustrate why Kendrick could have never lost this rap war. Didn't you read the title?
No, I guess I gotta make the title and do a thumbnail too.
Right. Sorry, I'm still getting accustomed to being on this side of the process.
Ain't no worries, my slight pepper brother. Do your thing, I'll just be over here changing the locks.
Okay, cool. I'll check back with you later. Now, where was I? Right.
I got 100 on my dash, got 200 in my trunk. Name in the grab bags, put my Bible in the trunk.
The beef is over. The dust has settled, and it's time for us to accept the truth. Kendrick Lamar was always going to win. This was the case long before Euphoria and even like that. And I can confidently say that because what we're looking at is a prime example of artist versus artiste. What's the difference? I'm glad you asked. An artist, as defined by Merriam-Webster's dictionary, is a person who creates art, such as painting, sculpture, music, or writing, using conscious skill or creative imagination. On the other hand, an artiste is a skilled, adept public performer. Merriam-Webster even goes as far as saying specifically a musical or theatrical entertainer. The task of being an artist is no simple feat. The true plight of an artist is first the responsibility to truly unearth and discover the depths of oneself or your chosen subject matter, and second, to share this exploration in a creative way to a perceiving audience. Kendrick Lamar's discography is one of a few in this generation that speaks directly to this without fail. From Good Kid, Mad City, or even Section 80, whichever you want to count as his debut album, to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar explores not just what it means to be raised in a city tainted by poverty, drug abuse, and gang violence, but also what it means to be a man in a world with seemingly no hope. Over the last 12 years, we have seen Kendrick Lamar paint vivid pictures of what was once his day-to-day reality, assume the role of a thought leader for African Americans, realize that one flawed man, far less for one musician, cannot liberate millions of oppressed persons on his own, aim to achieve liberation of self while still maintaining necessary focus on how an individual is socially impacted by institutions that may only recognize human beings as alphanumeric codes, and reveal to us that even after escaping the environments in which he faced all his prior trials and tribulations, he continued to be affected by his past and caused unintentional pain and strife to his loved ones, before, during, and after the process of undergoing therapy via various methods. You see, Kendrick's work might end in the studio or on stages in front of thousands of audience members, but it begins with a lot more thought and consideration, which is either discovered by the listener over time or explained by the artist in due time. This is the work of a true artist. During pretty much the same time frame, Aubrey Drake Graham has managed to entertain us with bop after bop, dominating various charts and achieving success in his own ways. Let's be honest, if you're between the ages of 16 and 35, Drake was the soundtrack of at least 2 or 3 of the best summers you've ever experienced. He said it himself, he's a hitmaker, an artiste, an entertainer. His sole focus and intention as it relates to music for the past decade or so has been to make hit records and put out albums that sell more than his counterparts. With that intention in mind, he has been extremely successful and incomparable to any other rapper ever. He even managed to have as many #1 singles as the king of pop, Michael Jackson. However, The depth of his music fails to explore any evolution or growth as an artist, or even just as a person. He has been criticized a lot over the years, and a lot more over the past few weeks, and justifiably so. Consider the people in your own life who haven't changed at all in the last decade. I guarantee you, if you're interested in growth and development like I am, you've either left those people behind or continue to be annoyed by their lack of development. Both of these things have happened in Drake's fan base. His fans who were closer in age to him have not been impressed by his more recent projects, and his die-hard fans who still vouch for him mid-album after mid-album are finding it harder to defend their favorite recording artist, resorting to a newfound acceptance. He'll release enjoyable or better music when he feels like it. This is the work of an artiste.
I'm sorry. Everything they say about me is true. I'm a phony. Woo, shit, my man said me through that.
That's the primary difference between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and on a grander scale between artist and artiste. On the surface, neither is truly better than the other. There are great arguments to be made to say why either Drake or Kendrick Lamar is your favorite artist, and that's fine. Maybe music is just an escape for you, and for that reason, you don't want to be reminded of the woes of the world when you put on your favorite playlists or albums. Maybe to you, music is an extension of the world that we live in, and you want to hear unique perspectives from people who take the time and effort to craft their ideas into invaluable pieces of art. Again, this is not a discussion surrounding what you or I prefer to consume as listeners or perceivers of modern art. This conversation is an objective discussion about literature. And yes, rap, like any other form of written artwork, is an extension of literature. That's why in all the other conversations that you've been listening to, people have been using words and terms like metaphor, double entendre, motif, and world building. Hell, even Drake dared Kendrick to respond with a quintuple entendre, which he successfully did on more than one occasion in Euphoria and in 616 in LA.
Oh, what, you ain't like that record? Back to back, I like that record. I'ma get back to that for the record.
Embarrassing.
The truth is, aside from personal desire or interest, it's far more difficult to be an artist than it is to be an artiste. It's easy to bite every new trending world sound, release mediocre music annually or biannually just to please an insatiable consumerist audience in a capitalist world that wants good music faster than it takes to make good music, and claim that the music you're making has to be caught up to, and the only reason that people don't like it is because you're light years ahead of them. What's considerably more difficult and challenging is introducing an audience to new sounds or sounds new to them while constantly pushing the medium you've chosen to be a part of to new boundaries and bringing a growing following along that journey with you. I am of the belief, and I think I'm right about this, that Drake is incapable of doing what Kendrick Lamar does. That being, diving deep into himself or a focused topic and exploring it as deeply as possible through his craft and making it captivating to his listeners. Kendrick Lamar, on the other hand, has proved to us with one track, Not Like Us, how easy it is to do what Drake does, and he did it without foregoing his artistic integrity. Throughout this whole beef, Kendrick Lamar displayed exactly what we love about him and his craft. From an elaborate 6-minute diss track with 2 beat switches and lyrics which are still being decoded weeks later, to elusive poetry that rivals literature published centuries ago which is still being studied today, to a planned out and frighteningly executed, scathing 4-stage letter to his rival and his family, and finally, a #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 that people all over the world have been dancing to since its release. At the end of the day, one of the participants in the great rap beef of 2024 is an artist, and the other is an artiste. Kendrick Lamar is undisputedly one of the greatest artists of our time and arguably one of the greatest artists of all time. Drake is an entertainer who gives us music to dance and have fun to, sometimes explores the challenges of surface level relationships, and is always there to remind us of who he is and what he does. At no point in this exchange did he illustrate the artistic prowess necessary to take on a titan such as Kendrick Lamar. I don't think that I can put it in better words or more succinctly than the great Kendrick Lamar Duckworth.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Atlanta was the Mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second. Let me put y'all on game.